The film opens with a view of the desolate landscape of Jutland in 18th-century Denmark. A vast, boundless moor is shrouded in barren land and harsh climate. King Frederick V has announced a plan to colonize this wasteland, aiming to cultivate the land and increase national revenue. However, this wasteland is not only environmentally hostile but also a haven for robbers and outlaws, with previous colonization attempts ending in failure. Our protagonist, Ludvig Collin, a retired captain, appears at the edge of this wasteland. Collin is not of noble birth but a bastard, a status that, in the rigid social hierarchy, condemns him to a lowly position. He yearns to change his destiny, to gain social recognition and respect, to become a true nobleman with his own land and honor. Upon learning of the king's colonization plan, Collin sees a glimmer of hope to realize his dream. He firmly believes that by successfully cultivating the wasteland, he can earn the king's appreciation and alter the course of his life. To achieve this goal, Collin sacrifices almost everything, selling his possessions and embarking on the journey to the wasteland with unwavering determination. Collin arrives in the wasteland, and the scene before him is even more desolate than he imagined. He leads the soldiers who have followed him to establish a camp and begin cultivating the land. However, the wasteland soil is exceptionally infertile, making cultivation extremely difficult, and the harsh weather conditions bring numerous hardships. Simultaneously, Collin's colonization plan attracts the attention of the local landowner, Frederik de Schinkel. Schinkel wields immense power in the area, considering the wasteland his own territory and viewing any outsiders with hostility. He perceives Collin's arrival as a threat to his interests and status, resolving to thwart Collin's plan. Schinkel dispatches his thugs to attack Collin's camp, seizing supplies and injuring soldiers as a warning. Facing this provocation, Collin does not back down. He leads his men in a counterattack, repelling Schinkel's thugs, demonstrating his resilience and exceptional military skills. This clash marks the formal escalation of the conflict between Collin and Schinkel. As Collin's colonization plan struggles to progress, a young woman named Barbara flees Schinkel's manor and seeks refuge at Collin's camp. Anne was originally a maid in Schinkel's manor, enduring prolonged abuse from Schinkel. Collin takes Anne in and settles her in the camp. Anne's arrival brings a touch of warmth to the arduous life in the wasteland. She is diligent and kind, helping Collin manage camp affairs, care for the wounded, and even attempting to grow vegetables in the barren soil. Collin and Anne gradually develop feelings for each other in their shared life. Anne's presence begins to melt Collin's cold heart, and he starts to realize that life holds more than just fame and fortune, there is also precious emotion and human warmth. Collin's camp welcomes another special group of guests, a gypsy family. In the social context of the time, gypsies were a highly discriminated group. Out of compassion, Collin takes in this impoverished family, allowing them temporary settlement in his camp. The gypsy family is deeply grateful to Collin, reciprocating his kindness with their skills and wisdom, adding vitality to camp life. However, Collin's act of sheltering the gypsy family provokes strong disapproval from the racially prejudiced Schinkel. Schinkel uses this as a pretext to further pressure Collin, demanding the expulsion of the gypsy family under threat of harsher measures. Collin refuses Schinkel's demands, firmly upholding the rights of the gypsy family, demonstrating a progressive spirit of equality and humanitarianism beyond his time. Collin's stance infuriates Schinkel, escalating their conflict. Schinkel begins to employ even more despicable tactics, including cutting off Collin's supplies, and unleashing thugs to harass and attack the camp, even kidnapping and to force Collin into submission. Faced with Schinkel's relentless oppression and the wasteland's harsh environment, Collin's colony falls into dire straits. Resources dwindle, morale falters, and the living conditions worsen. However, Collin does not give up. He displays remarkable resilience and willpower, leading the camp residents in a tenacious struggle for survival in the wasteland. Collin utilizes his military expertise to organize camp defenses, repelling attacks from Schinkel's thugs. He leads everyone in cultivating land, finding water sources, and attempting to grow hardy crops. Under Collin's leadership, the camp residents unite and overcome numerous difficulties, gradually gaining a foothold in the wasteland, showcasing the brilliance of humanity and the hope for survival. In Shinkle's manor lives Shinkle's cousin, Edel Helene. Edel is a young noblewoman who initially holds a contemptuous attitude towards Colin's colonization plan and harbors prejudice against his bastard status. However, as time passes, Edel begins to pay attention to Colin's struggles in the wasteland. She witnesses Colin's resilience and integrity, and gradually sees through Shinkle's greed and cruelty. Edel starts to question traditional noble values and develops respect, even admiration, for Colin. Edel secretly helps Colin, using her status to provide assistance and relay information. She attempts to persuade Shinkle to cease his persecution of Colin, but is refused and mocked. Edel's heart begins to wrestle, torn between the constraints of noble conventions and the genuine emotions stirred by Colin's character. She gradually moves towards awakening and reflection. To completely destroy Colin's colony, Shinkle falsely accuses Colin of stealing his property and attempts to use his noble privilege to legally seize Colin's land. To defend his rights and dignity, Colin decides to confront Shinkle in court. Colin gathers evidence, exposes Shinkle's crimes, and appeals to the king, seeking a just legal ruling. In court, Colin delivers a passionate speech, denouncing Shinkle's atrocities and speaking out for himself and all the oppressed. His courage and sense of justice move the judge and jury, earning him the respect of everyone present. Ultimately, the court delivers a fair verdict. Shinkle's conspiracy is exposed, and he is punished by law. Colin is exonerated, his land is secured, and justice prevails over evil, the weak over the powerful. This legal victory is an affirmation of Colin's personal struggle and a call for social justice. After defeating Shinkle, Colin's colonization plan succeeds. The wasteland, under his diligent cultivation, gradually comes to life, transforming into fertile land. The king rewards Colin's achievements, granting him a noble title, and Colin's long-held dream is finally realized. However, when his dream comes true, Colin's heart is not filled with the anticipated joy and satisfaction. Having endured the hardships of the wasteland and lived alongside Anne and the gypsy family, Colin's outlook on life has undergone a profound change. He realizes that noble titles and land are not the entirety of life's meaning. True happiness and value lie in inner peace, in being with loved ones, and in bringing hope and happiness to others. At the peak of his success, Colin makes an unexpected decision. He relinquishes the noble title and land within reach, entrusting the colony to the management of the gypsy family. He chooses to leave the wasteland and pursue the person he truly loves, and Barbara. He understands that Anne is the most precious treasure in his life, and being with her is the life he genuinely desires. The film concludes with Colin, Anne, and the gypsy girl leaving the wasteland, heading towards a future filled with hope. They abandon worldly fame and fortune, choosing to pursue inner peace and happiness, showcasing the brilliance of humanity and the pursuit of true love.